All right, welcome in, guys, to the Unimportant Viewpoint with Nate and Luke. So, Nate, let's do a little week wrap-up. What did you have happen over this last week?
Absolutely nothing, man. I've been pretty boring.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't say work this week because you've only had one day so far, so.
Yeah, you're right. I will say, Friday last week whooped my butt. I hadn't worked that hard in a minute.
Yeah.
I slept for a long time Saturday.
Somebody else said that at work, too.
I was exhausted.
They said they were just pretty much was asleep the whole Saturday.
Yep. It was a waste of a day.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I did on Saturday, really.
Dude, I slept in. I was going to wake up and do podcast stuff. I make TikToks or whatever. And then my laptop was dead. What a shitty day.
Yeah.
I was fucking mad.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous, which, push came to shove. would have brought mine, but I was low-key kind of nervous when he told me about it.
I bought a laptop Saturday anyway. I ordered one before I knew it was dead.
Oh, yeah, see, your computer knew.
That's what I'm thinking, bro. I think it found out.
That motherfucker's trying to replace me. Fuck him.
He said, fuck you, I'm out. You ain't doing shit today. And I sure didn't. I didn't get to do anything.
Yep.
I'm real salty about it.
Yeah, because I sent you some stuff that I thought would have been good, and then we never got a chance to have it. I can't do nothing like that.
Maybe next week.
Yep.
But I got my new laptop in this morning.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to rock. We're good to go.
Yeah. Hopefully this one doesn't shit out on you.
It better not, because I paid too much money for it.
That'd be bad, yep.
I'll be real salty.
I freaking ordered one right before you ordered one. I texted you and told you, I don't even necessarily need one, but...
Yeah.
We use one every so often, and mine is, a nightmare to use because it takes so long
I won't forget.
To load up because it's so freaking slow, but... So, we needed one kind of, but it's not like we use it that much, so it wasn't, a necessary purchase.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily need to spend this much money on one, but I went big.
Yeah.
Because I can't help myself, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, as long as you use it, I think you will use it more than...
Yeah, so far I've been using it more than I have.
Yeah. Plus you bought a gaming one, so you can game on it and stuff, too.
Yeah, because I have so much time for that.
You should have. Well, if you'd had it freaking before this weekend, you could have really used it a lot during the downtime or whatever.
Yep.
Because, I tell you what, I was way too busy. Way too busy. It wasn't even... it was fun. I had fun, but, just way too much stuff going... You know what I mean? It just went by. It was gone.
As it happened when you were
It was gone in a blink of an eye, yeah. Yeah, we had a 4th of July barbecue on Saturday at my wife's uncle's house. And, her family and stuff was there. And I showed up, and they were making food still, and I went out back because her uncle was grilling, and he said he needed to take a shower, so he's like, hey, will you watch the burgers and stuff for me? And I went back there and started watching the burgers for him, and then he came back and he started frying egg rolls, so then I just took over the grilling for the rest of the time.
Hell yeah.
Which was fun. We drank a beer together and just kind of cooked back there, but man, he had one of those Blackstone, I think is what they're called, those griddle ones or whatever, and it had such a thick layer of grease. And I was not wearing clothes that I wanted to get
that's rough, bro.
Nasty, and I was kind of a little bit upset afterwards because it was my shirt. My wife literally just got me on our anniversary. Got grease splatters all over it.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, it was a freaking Harry Potter shirt, and it has grease splatters all over it. The shorts, freaking somehow they weren't noticeable, but the freaking shirt, man, it was a ton of little dots everywhere.
R.I.P. that shirt.
Yeah, R.I.P. But I'm gonna probably still wear it because I don't really give a shit.
Hell yeah.
But that's how I started my weekend, and then I told myself I'm gonna read. So I actually
I'm proud of you.
Read a little bit. I didn't get very far.
Sure.
But I actually in the chapters now, so I'm
I'm
like halfway through
Roman
chapter
book?
1. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I'm halfway through chapter 1. I went ahead and put my bookmark in that that series that I was telling you about. That's like it's about space, but they based it off of like Roman history, like the Empire
Foundation
kind of
or whatever.
stuff. Yeah, Foundation, that was called. I put my bookmark in the first one of it, and I was like debating before I started reading. I was like, which one should I do? Which one should I do? And I was like, man, I've already started this. Like, just read it now before I'm like completely off of Roman history, and like I just never read it. So I did get to read a little bit, which I hadn't got to do very much. And
Keep
then
it going.
all that bad weather and stuff. I got home freaking Saturday morning, and my neighbor had like probably 3, maybe 4. Like he had one whole tree down, and then he had like 2 or 3 that were like branches and like big branches. And then like a person that's like across the road, like after you go to the end of our road across the highway from us, they had a tree, like an entire tree down. So there's just so many trees down.
That's rough.
I'm like surprised. We had one, but it was already the first bout of like really strong winds that we had this year.
Yeah.
It had already like uprooted halfway and was like leaning. So I mean, I knew eventually.
Did the final job.
Yeah, it finally went all the way down.
Hell yeah.
So I got to do that at some point. Cut that up because it's technically laying in my neighbor's property.
You got a chainsaw and all that manly stuff. Hell yeah.
Yep. And it's laying in my neighbor's property, so I need to do it before he comes and says something about it or anything.
They can do it. Who cares?
And then before this past weekend, I guess it was the weekend before, me and my wife started watching Day After Tomorrow. You know that movie?
The movie from like...
Yeah, like the old movie's got like Dennis Quaid in it and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. So we were watching that, and dude, we watched it the past weekend, started it. Then this weekend, we watched some of it.
Ew.
And then
Ew.
last night, I think it was last night, we finally finished it. It took us 3 times.
To watch that movie?
Bro, yeah.
Gross.
That's what it's like when you have kids,
that
man.
Ain't worth it, though.
Like, it takes so freaking long to watch. Like, that's what me and my wife were talking about. We were like, it takes so long for us to watch anything. Like, when we watch, like, a TV show, like an hour long, like, or not even an hour, like, 45 minutes or whatever most of them are. Yeah. If we watch one of those, it takes us so freaking long to watch just a single episode. Because we have to pause. It's, like, for different things, like... So, like, we have to pause for ourselves, too, to be able to, like, go get, like, popcorn or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like, for us, it doesn't take very long. Like, we can just go do it real quick and be back and restart it.
Yeah.
Or we can do it while we're... But, like, my son will have to go potty, and then he'll want a snack, and then... You know what I mean? So we pause, like, 1,000 times. It takes so freaking long.
I would never watch anything.
Yeah, it takes so freaking long.
Fuck that. I'm glad I don't have kids.
Yeah, we broke it. We had to break that movie into 3 different occasions.
And, like, that's... not a good use of your time. That sounds awful.
But it was good. And then like all this freaking crazy weather, my wife's like, "Oh, it's happening."
Bro,
I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's not happening." But
I hope not. If it does, take me out in that first wave.
Yeah, freak.
Whatever
dude,
happens first, I want to go there.
I wouldn't survive. And then like we were watching it, and like you know how he draws across the map that line or whatever, and he's like, evacuate everybody south of the line, and like anybody that's north of the line, like they just need to stay put and hope for the best or whatever. Well, like when he first draws the line, we were south of the line, and I was like, oh, we're good. And then like it cuts to a different angle, and all of a sudden we're north of the line. I'm like, well, babe, we were screwed if we were actually in there. I'm like, it was a little glitch in their part. And then the last thing is I texted my mom on this past weekend, I think, and was like, hey, so I need to know what sides you make or foods you make that you put sugar in that don't taste sweet.
Here we go.
So here's a little list for you of things my mom puts sugar in.
I wonder what this was.
That aren't sweet.
There's no
She
way.
has mac and cheese.
Why?
She puts sugar
She
in
ain't
it.
making it right.
Fuck, I don't know why she puts
That's
sugar in
some
it.
white people shit.
But it's good mac and
white
cheese.
people mac
It's
and
good
cheese.
mac
I
and
don't
cheese,
trust it.
and it's
I
not
don't
sweet,
trust
so
it.
screw you. Vegetable soup.
I can honestly see that one.
So that's the thing. So I realized after we talked,
That's
like
not
I
a
talked
side
to
dish,
some.
though.
I know, but I'm saying I realized after I talked to some people that that's the reason why they do it. I couldn't remember why it was like you put sugar in to like cut other things, but it's you put sugar in to cut the acidity of things, so it's not as acidic.
Oh, okay.
So like stuff that has like a lot of like acid to it, people will put sugar in it. It doesn't make it sweet. It just makes it
What has
tones
acid
down
in
the,
mac and cheese?
That's not an example of that. I'm saying after I talked
Why is
to
there sugar in mac and cheese?
I don't know why she put sugar
Your
in mac
mom
and
is
cheese.
wild.
I don't know why, but I
have questions
I told
for her.
you I knew I had seen people put freaking sugar in stuff that wasn't sweet.
Just because one person doesn't mean it's a thing.
It is. I literally just told you that people put sugar in stuff to cut acid.
Name one other person that does it in mac and cheese.
I did not say
I'll wait.
mac and cheese.
A minute ago you did.
She does mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's not a
That's
thing.
the only fucking person that I've talked to that puts it in mac and cheese. I'm just saying that is not sweet. My mom makes mac and cheese. It's not sweet
probably
mac
not
and
good
cheese,
either if there's
and it's
sugar in it.
delicious. It's
I'm
good.
Sure it is. Okay.
It's good. She makes it from scratch, unlike your bitch ass making it from a box and thinking it's delicious.
First of all,
Fuck
I don't
you.
make it, so it's a wild assumption.
Fuck you. But yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to make sure,
Cool.
call back from last episode, that you're a fucking asshole, and I was right.
Do you feel better?
I was right.
Do you feel better?
I wasn't right about potatoes.
You were.
I was wrong on that.
I still can't believe you said that.
But, well, if I had said mac and cheese, you would have given me the same shit, and I was right about
Dumbass
that.
fucking statement.
I was right about that, so fuck you.
Okay, your mom doesn't make you right. Like, if you find another person, I'll.
Yes, it does make me right, because I told you that I've seen people put...
You've seen your mom do it.
Okay, exactly.
That's not a people. That's a person.
I hate you. What the fuck does that... Let's be real technical then.
Well, you want to make us whatever, bro.
Yeah, whatever's right.
I'm taking the win here.
But I'll let you go ahead and freaking talk about your stupid nerding out about stupid fucking
Honestly,
bullshit.
my first one is very stupid.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, talk about your dumb shit.
Because I do so. On this past Saturday, NASCAR had a street race in Chicago, and like I hate NASCAR. I think it's dumb. I drive every day. I don't want to watch people drive in a circle for like 5 hours. I don't understand it. I don't care. But like my husband loves it. My boy David likes it. Like
NASCAR is weird to me now. When we watched NASCAR as kids, I do not remember it being as like draft heavy as it is now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like now they're in like a fucking, like they literally are just like, all their cars are just bunched up into two fucking huge ass lines, all close together, and they're just fucking going like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do not remember it being like that as kids.
I
don't remember it being that bad anyways.
I don't know enough to say
I could
yes or no.
I could be wrong. I used to watch NASCAR a lot growing up. But
I unfortunately did too. And
in my head, I just don't feel like I remember it being like where they drafted as much as they do. It's like it's fucking insane how much. Like I've watched like a couple races here recently, and I say I watched like a second of it.
That's more than I want to watch.
But still, the little bit I've watched, I'm like, I do not remember it. Almost looks even more boring than I remember it being.
Oh, I don't know how. It was always boring to me.
I'm like, yeah.
I hate it.
I used to have fun like going to like Kentucky. What the fuck? Daytona 500.
Keep going.
Parties and shit like that.
Sure, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
My dad used to have. It was awful. He'd watch them with his friends.
We used to fucking like pay like, I don't remember, maybe like $5, and you got like everybody paid in $5, and then
It was like
you divide the drivers up, however many per person, like whatever it equals out to be. Like there's 40 drivers. If there's 10 people doing it, then each person gets 4 drivers, and you just get a random driver, and whoever wins at the end wins the pot.
We did something like
and
that.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it was where you didn't pick your drivers. It was like a random chance, basically.
No, we picked
but then you were
ours.
like cheering for these random 4 people.
Yeah.
And you might end up with like 4 people that are like clearly not gonna probably win the race.
Like,
but you're still like, yeah, go.
Dude, we did that. I picked the same driver every time. His name was Sterling Martin. And I picked him because his name was Sterling. I thought that was cool. He never won.
Yeah, I've never
he had
even
a cool ass fucking name.
never heard of him, so I'd say he probably didn't win.
He was cool back in the day. Anyway.
But I can't believe you freaking picked, sorry, before you move on, I cannot believe you've been nerding out about freaking NASCAR street racing.
Because the street race was cool.
But
have you seen it?
You literally made fun of me for talking about F1.
I know.
On one of the episodes. And it's literally a more entertaining version of street racing than the NASCAR fucking stock cars.
I have no argument. You are correct here.
I know I am.
You're very correct.
So you probably would enjoy watching F1 and you just shit on it for no fucking good reason.
I think the reason I like the street race, because I know it only happens one time a year. That's the only time I have to watch it.
Hold on. That doesn't happen just one time a year. Don't they have more than one street race a year?
Road races.
Road races.
Street races. Because that street race was like downtown Chicago. Because it was actually,
street. Gotcha.
So it was kind of neat. And then the ending was cool because some dude from New Zealand, it was his first ever NASCAR race, fucking pulled out in the last like 5 or 10 laps and won. So I was like rooting for him. Like, yeah, this was pretty cool. And like watching them make the passes, like that was kind of their strategy. I'm like, this is neat.
You literally are describing F1 to a fucking T. Like, it's literally all strategy.
But, like, F1's for, like, little rich bitch boys. Like, I don't want to watch that shit.
Whatever.
I'm never going to watch F1. It might be cool. I just don't give two shits.
It's not been entertaining this year because fucking Verstappen's just wiping the floor with everybody, so it's kind of pointless to watch.
I hate that guy.
He literally, he's kicked everybody's ass, and I don't really care for him. So.
I've heard there's a really good F1 documentary out there, or show.
There's a bunch of really good ones. So Drive to Survive is like...
It's that one?
It's like they follow them through the season. So like at the end of... So like, I don't remember what year it started. I want to say it was 2019, maybe, was the first year.
That sounds right. That's what I'm thinking about.
So the 2019 season, they made a season of Drive to Survive that was about the 2019 season.
See, that sounds kind of...
And then season 2 of Drive to Survive is the 2020 season, and then so on and so forth.
Huh.
And it's really good. That's how I got into it. So
I've heard it's very good.
So I'd heard about it when the first season came out. I kept hearing people talk about it. And so I was like, I'm going to watch it. I was like, I like watching that kind of stuff, like documentary style, shows like that. I like watching like hunting shows. I don't give a shit about hunting, but I like watching hunting shows and shit like that.
Nope.
And so I was like, I'll give it a shot. And it was really good.
Huh.
And so that's the reason I even got into it. And then...
You nerd.
Yeah. And then this season. And then the very first season that I actually started watching, the actual season, was like... from what I hear from people, it was like one of the best seasons they've had like ever. And it was like right before the regulations changed, and when the regulations changed, it fucked it all up. So for example, Mercedes, this is gonna be like a whole F1 conversation. But listen,
I've already checked out.
But I've got to tell it. Okay,
I will try my best.
So Mercedes was dominant for a while. So they said they were gonna make these new regulations to make everything closer. The last season before the regulations changed, it was close between Red Bull and Mercedes. And Red Bull ended up, Verstappen ended up winning the championship, but Mercedes, the two drivers won the team championship that year. They changed the regulations, and fucking Red Bull's been dominant.
Well, I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
It immediately, they actually got close, and then the regulations changed to make things closer, and it made it further apart again.
So Mercedes, that's... I'm annoyed. I don't even care.
That's some bullshit is what happened right there.
Well, that's dumb.
But yeah. So, I'll let you move on to your other thing. But I just had to get that
I've talked too much about cars. I'm so over it. I hate it. Okay, so then the other thing we're nerding out about, I watched 3 movies this weekend.
So you did.
I usually don't.
You did actually do something this weekend. Cool.
Well, I mean, watch movies here at the house, and I usually don't watch movies 3 movies in a whole year. But I watched a bunch of this. Anyway, the reason I watched it is because have you heard of the new movie coming out called Oppenheimer?
I have.
Okay. So Christopher Nolan's directing it, and I've seen a couple of his a good handful of his films. I really like him as a director.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna watch like the ones I haven't been watching to like get ready for Oppenheimer because I'm trying to get pumped about it. And then people at work were talking about The Prestige in particular. And I watched that on Saturday, and that movie blew my fucking mind.
I don't think I've ever. What is it about? I don't think I've seen it. I'm pretty positive I haven't seen it, but I might have heard about it. Like, what is it about?
So it's you should watch it. It's fucking crazy. Hugh Jackman and oh my gosh, my brain just farted. He is Batman. Christian Bale. Christian Bale.
Good.
I love Christian Bale. And I cannot remember his name. Anyway, they're two magicians, and they're both trying to be like the best magician in the whole world. And they end up forming a kind of a rivalry. And that's all I want to tell you.
That's interesting. That almost sounds kind of like I know it's not, but kind of reminds me of like the Now You See Me. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Not to get off topic. Go ahead.
No, I've never seen it. I don't watch it. But
it's about magicians.
Yeah. Which, like, I don't give a fuck about magic. I don't care about that. Except for Harry Potter magic. I do care about that.
Yeah, that's some real shit.
But anyway.
Not real shit, but you know what I mean.
I wish.
Like real badass shit.
Yeah. You should watch The Prestige. There's a twist, and it's so fucking crazy, dude. Like, it blew my mind. My jaw, like, hit the floor. And then as soon as I finished it, I almost watched it again. Because, like...
to see what you missed?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the movie from the beginning says, pay attention, like, make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, because
what you might miss. Yeah, I did not pay attention, apparently. But anyway, it's a really good fucking movie. And then I watched another one of his called Memento. That one I didn't... It was
that
right.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. It came out before The Prestige. That movie's fucking weird. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's good. Like, I liked it when I got to the end. But I struggled for the first, like, I don't know.
For some reason, I feel like I'm thinking of the cover of the movie.
It's like a guy holding a picture of a girl and one of those.
I feel like I might have seen this movie. But I don't really know.
It was real mind fuckery.
Yeah. Like,
it was real good. It just took me a minute to warm up to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
But, like, I love Christopher Nolan, man. Like, I fuck with him.
Yeah, see, I don't... A lot of people know directors and movies. See,
I used to not know any of them.
I'm one of those people that I know, like, a few directors.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to say probably the only one I really know, like, can pinpoint his movies, and him is, shoot.
Yeah, you really know.
What is his name?
Give me a movie.
Why am I blanking? The dude that's, oh my god, like Pulp Fiction and...
Tarantino?
Tarantino.
Yeah,
jeez.
Yeah. Bro.
That was worse than yours.
That was worse than mine. The gears were turning. They weren't going nowhere.
But yeah, so I think he might be literally the only director.
He's a goat.
But that's because he's got that like whole, these are my whatever number of movies that I'm going to make that are going to be my, like my, what do they call that?
I don't know what word you're going for, bro.
I don't know.
Anyways. Your brain.
Clearly,
we're struggling today. God.
Clearly, my brain just like broke.
Yeah.
In the middle of trying to talk about that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Feature films.
There you go. We got there.
Boom.
Hell yeah. Oh, have you seen like a preview for Oppenheimer or anything?
I have not. A dude at work. It's actually Braden, the dude that was going to the MLS game in Nashville. Yeah. He's a super huge movie buff. Yeah. Like, he talked about going... Like, he thought about going to school for, like, to be a director and stuff.
That would be cool.
I don't know. I told him, I was like, dude, you should do it.
Yeah,
he's like, it seems like a stupid thing to do. And I'm like, nah, not if you're passionate about it. And I'm like, I feel like he's pretty passionate about it. But anyways, he's really into movies. And he's going to pull a double feature.
With Barbie?
For Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Okay, because that's my question I'm asking, like, everybody right now. Are you Team Barbie or Team Oppenheimer?
See, he's gonna. I think him and his buddies are gonna go. They're gonna.
I want to see him.
They're gonna hit them both.
That's what I want to do
that weekend, and that's the weekend leading back into us coming back to work.
Yep.
So like he has plenty of time and availability to do it. So
we're gonna be home for that ending of that week, and I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do a double feature because I want to see both of them. I was really hyped for Barbie before. I was Team Barbie, but now like I'm pretty even now. I can't decide.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything about this Oppenheimer movie, but it popped up on my Facebook, like the trailer or whatever, but I didn't watch it.
You should check it out.
But I've heard good things. Like,
I think it'll be good.
Well, I mean, I've heard good things in the sense that people think it's going to be good. I mean, obviously, nobody's seen it.
No one knows yet. It'll be good. Well, I don't know.
But I'll check it out probably because I have heard like a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's going to be a pretty big deal because that is literally the Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Like I've seen like not just him, but like people on my Facebook saying like I'm going to both.
Yeah.
Opening weekend. So.
I've seen threads on Twitter where it's like they do like a cast list of like from a TV show or whatever. Like this person would see Barbie, this one would see Oppenheimer, like based off their personality and shit.
Yeah.
So I like to ask people that like get a gauge like where you're at, what kind of dude you are.
Well, I don't. If I had watched Oppenheimer like a trailer or something, I could answer it for you, but I don't know.
I think you'll be Team Oppenheimer.
You think so?
I think so. It seems like
I don't know. I mean, I don't go to the movie theaters, so I probably wouldn't go to the movie theaters for either of these. Guy? Not really. I mean, I used to be, but like, I don't have fucking time to go to the movie theater. Like, I'm gonna have to find somebody to watch my kids.
They'll be fine.
Or I'm gonna have to be like, hey babe, I'm gonna go to the movie theater. See you later.
Probably shouldn't do that. Take your wife to the movies, bro.
That's like the last thing I think that she would want to do either. For like a date night, like when we have an opportunity, like that's the thing. I'm not gonna waste my babysitting night on going to watch a movie. You know what I mean?
If you want to be,
I don't care. Cool. Like I don't care that much about seeing something in a movie theater to waste it on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't really. It doesn't bother me to not go to the movie theater and watch something.
I love.
I can watch it at my home on my couch,
bro.
Just as easy.
They got the reclining chairs. I can't have popcorn now, but the popcorn, the soda, the vibe is right.
Bro, I can do that. Like it has to be something special for me to be like
fucking Barbie, bro.
No,
the Barbie movie.
Like literally, so they're making a movie for the Hunger Games.
I know
that new one.
Low-key hyped about it. I don't know what it's
we have the book, and I still haven't read it. I haven't read it yet.
Or something.
Yeah, Ballad of Snakes and something, I think, or something. Like
it looks fucking good though.
Either way, they're making a movie for it. I would go to the movie theater to watch it.
I will be going.
I wouldn't be going opening weekend or nothing, but I would go like at some point.
No, I don't know. I could. I love the Hunger Games, which we'll talk
about. Opening weekend is that's a whole nother level of being obsessed with the movie.
You ever been to a Marvel opening weekend?
What I'm saying?
Like a Marvel movie?
No, that sounds like a fucking nightmare to me.
It's a bunch of nerds, which I love nerds, but
it sounds like it. Well, I don't even. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. The nerd part, it's that amount of people. I couldn't handle that.
And they clap and shit. It's fucking horrible.
And yeah, that's something I could not.
I do fucking hate that.
I cannot handle that shit.
Do not clap.
And like somebody the other day was telling me, they were like, but like it enhances it when you have like the whole crowd getting into the same moments as you and all that stuff. And I'm just like, that's gross. Exactly what you said.
I want you to sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I want to fucking see this movie.
Yeah.
I want to hear every freaking word.
Yep.
Like my dad growing up, like we would always be like, he would just do shit like in the middle of the movie and stuff, like at home, and we'd be like pausing the movie, and he'd be like, okay, why are you like, you don't have to pause me. I do. I have to hear every fucking word.
Dude, I hate that.
And he just like half listens to shit, and then like at the end of the movie, he's like, pretty much got a grasp of it, and I'm like, pretty much, like, fuck you. Like, no, man.
Fuck out of here.
Well, not fuck you, Dad. You're a wonderful human being, but
well, I mean, if you do that shit during a movie.
But yeah, like, just, I don't know. He just doesn't have to pay attention, and I'm like, no, I have to pay attention.
I have to.
I'm gonna pause it anytime you try to talk, because I do not want to hear you and it at the same time.
It depends on the movie. If it's a comedy, I don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's something I don't care about, or if it's something I've already seen, like, yeah, but even if it's a comedy, if it's something I haven't seen, I don't really want you talking during it.
I get that.
Unless there's like a moment in the movie that's like a time to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
there's
should-
stuff going on, but
yeah.
you can't. There's nothing like audio wise that you need to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't go to you.
I just
don't-
can't.
You should not be in a theater.
I can't handle. I can't handle that many people.
You're an
either.
old fucking grouch. Good
Dude, I
grief.
can't handle that many people
Golly.
either. That's way too many freaking people, man, and packed into one space. Like, no, I'm out.
I mean, they got the
Not
nice recliners now. You're kind of spaced out a bit.
Well, I know, but I'm saying just like that many people in one room. It's a
Yeah,
lot. It's
I
a lot.
get it.
It's a lot to
You
handle.
can be a baby. It's fine, man.
Yeah, I mean, I will be.
Miss out on a good experience.
I don't give a flying.
All right. Anyway, moving on from movies because that's not what we're here about. I finished a book. The book that I got so much shit about from you.
You got
Wine.
you got shit about it because
Because you're dumb.
I thought you was talking about freaking like actual wine, but
No, it's a
the
book.
who was it by?
Ray Bradbury.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was like I couldn't remember who it was, but I knew it was like a decently famous
Yeah. He wrote
author.
Fahrenheit 451. That's what's big. I think it's the book. I don't fucking know. I'm pretty sure it's. I actually don't like that book.
I know
I don't vibe
I
with
recognized
that.
the author.
It's good though. Like, it's about summertime as a kid. Super nostalgic. It was a good vibe. I was here for it. But I thought I'd bring it up because Dandelion Wine's funny to me now. Because you're homophobic. It's garbage. But
That's
anyway,
not.
moving on. It's not Pride Month anymore, so I don't
I
feel safe talking about it.
I freaking hate you so much. I'm trying to look at. I feel like there's something that's Ray Bradbury that I would know, but I don't recognize any of these. So
Is Fahrenheit 451 on there?
it is. Yeah, you were right about that.
Hell yeah, I know things.
And it looks like it might be one of his more popular ones. The Martian Collection. I've never even. That seems like it is too, but I've never. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I don't know anything by him, but for some reason I felt like I did. When I saw the name, I felt like I kind of really recognized it.
It seems like a very polished author's name. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
But neither here nor there.
Yeah. What about you, bro?
I'm not. This is weird. I'm not nerding out about it per se, because it'd be a very weird thing to nerd out about.
Well, I mean,
But I'm like, these things are really good.
they are good.
But I bought some. They're called Nudge Coffee Bombs. I'm not 100% what they are.
Good, keep going.
It's like chocolate covered, but I don't think it's just like, it's not chocolate covered espresso beans or nothing. It's like chocolate covered, like, I don't know, like almost like it's liquefied coffee.
Taste.
Yeah.
It's
like
weird. I don't
it's
know
like a
what it is
creamy. It's not liquid, but it's like a creamy. It's not solid either. It's like a creamy texture on the inside. But it's coffee, and it kind of tastes like coffee. It kind of tastes like, I had the caramel macchiato. That's what Nate tried.
They're good.
And it kind of tastes like coffee with a little bit of creamer. And it's actually got like a pretty like noticeable coffee taste too. And I thought like a lot of times you either get like something that's like super not coffee tasting.
I don't trust all coffee flavored things.
Yeah. Like a lot of times it's like tastes like creamer.
Sugar and like
I don't know. Creamer more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually thought it was kind of cool that it actually had some like real coffee notes.
I thought about ordering some because they were very good.
They are very good. And I don't know if it's at all Targets, but my wife said that they were at her Target. So
okay. I can check out a Target.
So yeah. So you might could find them there. I don't know. They might be cheaper online or they might be cheaper there. I don't really know.
I'll probably do online because I'm too lazy to go.
But they had them at their checkout is what she said. So if anybody wants to try them, I know Owensboro's Target has some.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure they had the caramel macchiato because I think she said one of her coworkers was.
See, I don't like caramel very much.
I love a caramel macchiato.
I don't.
Like, that's or it used to be. I don't really get it as much anymore, but I usually always got the hot caramel macchiato or the iced caramel macchiato depending on the weather.
Are you a hot coffee or an iced coffee guy?
Depends on the weather.
I'm iced coffee
If it's
all the way.
hot as fuck outside, then I'm not getting a hot coffee most of the time.
If it could be like -20, I'm getting a nice coffee.
Yeah, fuck no. I'll get a hot coffee.
No.
I don't like hot things, like temperature hot things. Like I don't care about spice, but
I do.
But temperature wise, like a lot of times my wife will, like when she goes to Starbucks, she'll order it like kid temp. for me. Because I can't handle the
You
heat.
get kid temp?
Yeah.
You're a grown man. You can't drink a hot beverage?
I can't. I don't like. I won't drink it. So that's what if I get it like a regular temp, it sits.
Oh my gosh.
It sits for a long time before I'll drink it. I don't warm up my food very much. Like if I throw something, like if I have leftovers and I throw something in the microwave, I don't warm it up very much. Like I'm talking like 45 seconds sometimes.
I mean, I can eat cold food. I don't have a problem with that. But like a hot beverage that's supposed to be hot?
No, I don't fuck with.
What about
hot.
soup? How do you eat your soup?
Let it cool off. I don't.
Oh my god, get out of there! I'm done.
I don't fuck with stuff being hot, man.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but I can't take it. Like it's too hot for me. Like what is normal people's like temperature is good for them. It's too hot for me.
I always knew.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
Everybody has a different tolerance for like the heat of something,
Sure.
and like for me, it's lower.
Okay.
So like like.
Yeah, I get it.
So like I still when I drink it, it's still hot to me. It's just not this fucking like scorch your mouth hot.
You can be less of a man. That's fine, bro.
No, bro. Like you should see me like so if I'm like really hungry or if I'm like something.
Yeah.
Or I really want something, like I'll throw it in my mouth and I'll be like over here going, you know that like fucking like
I hate
you're like
that,
breathing out and like trying to
and
like
you look like you're having a stroke.
Yeah, like your mouth isn't like your lips aren't touching. You're just like somehow chewing without your mouth ever touching.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's it.
You're a baby. All right,
Sorry, I can't handle it, bro. I'm just telling you the truth. So the next thing is I nerd out about like looking at the stats and stuff for Summer League games.
I love Summer League.
So I don't get to watch it obviously a lot. But I nerd out about like looking at the stats and seeing like some of the people that are recently drafted from Kentucky, but just in general like different people that are like popular. Like I looked at the Brandon Miller stats after
he played well
their first game and stuff. Just the people that you think are going to be something when they actually are in the league. You know what I mean? So I like to look at that and freaking Chet Holmgren or whatever.
He's a baller.
Bro, he looks like a pencil, but that dude
twink punk
was like blocking left and right. I'm like, he looks like he would break.
Yep.
He looks like he would break, but yeah, those freaking two-handed blocks and stuff.
He's going to be a beast. I'm hyped for him.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been looking at, just stats and stuff, obviously. And I watch like highlights of like a few plays here and there of different people and stuff, like the ESPN apps, like highlights or whatever.
Yeah. I have a hot take. I like the Summer League more than I like the regular season. If I had to rank it, it'd be playoffs, Summer League, regular season. I love Summer League.
Surprisingly, that's not crazy.
Really?
It's not crazy.
Okay,
no. Yeah, well, because it's like the regular season, to be honest, in the NBA,
I don't care.
A lot of the times they care, but a lot of the times it's not the level of care that the Summer League people are doing because they're trying to make a team.
Rosters, but
yeah. So like, I mean, you obviously have the dudes that know they're gonna be, but they're trying to prove themselves. You know what I mean? Like they can't let some punk that might not make the league,
ball on
them. Yeah. So they take it somewhat serious too. So
and there's something about like the practice jerseys, like really. I love that. It's just
I don't
gritty.
know.
I don't know.
I don't think that's crazy because I honestly. So I look at the stats of the NBA like during the season and stuff. I don't get to watch it very much, but I do look at the stats even then too. But I feel like I do watch more highlights.
Yeah.
And look at stats more for the Summer League. So
I don't think it's back in the day. I watched a lot of Summer League. I was hyped for it.
I used to too, but
no, I don't.
I don't really have time to do it. / it's a lot of times it's happening whenever.
While we're working.
While we're working and stuff. So
shout out night shift.
So yeah. And then your
DeMar Hodge, bro.
Yeah, your dude,
future LA Lakers star.
Yeah, he got a 2-way deal.
He did
with the Lakers. So
he had some good highlights. Yeah. A couple of days ago, he actually Drew Smith plays on the Heat. He's a Mizzou guy, actually an Evansville guy. He went to Rice and then U of E, and then transferred to Mizzou. But Des Moines stripped him and like had a fast break layup and then hit a 3 in the corner. Like he played a good game.
He's on the Heat's actual roster, that guy you were talking about?
I don't...
So or he's on the Summer
He was
League?
at points last year.
Okay. So maybe he's like one of their two-way or exhibition 10.
I think he was back and forth. In the playoffs, he wasn't.
I literally don't know what any of that shit means.
Two-way?
Two-way versus exhibition 10.
I would try to explain it, but I don't know either.
Yeah.
I know, like...
I know, like, your money you get for being them is different, but what it actually means. And then they got more two-way players this year, too, I think.
Yeah.
I think every team got one, or was it one or two more?
You could tell me 10, I believe it. I don't know.
So, it just gives more of an opportunity for dudes to get a little bit more of a chance.
Which is good, because...
because you look at the Heat this past season, like, they had so many people that were undrafted, so...
Yep.
League-wide, giving some dudes a chance to...
I think it's good.
Because there's a lot of, like, there's a lot of, like, college basketball players going to schools that's just... It's just not the right fit.
Yeah.
They turn into being, like, decent / stars, you know what I'm saying?
Which is wild.
You can tell in some people, like, Russell Westbrook is an example of what I mean. He clearly... people knew he was going to be something because he got drafted high and all that stuff, but like I don't remember hearing about him that much at UCLA and stuff.
I remember Kevin Love.
So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he was like this, like, and then he became he became more of a star than Kevin Love did.
Yeah.
Dude, in my eyes,
I agree. I don't want to, but I agree.
I'm like, Kevin Love literally played for the Timberwolves. And
he was a baller.
And was a baller on a team that sucked. And then he went to the Cavs, and he wasn't as much of a baller
because you have LeBron and...
But he was on a team that, like, where... He should have been the second fiddle, and Kyrie ended up being the second fiddle. Because Kevin Love wasn't good enough.
Bro, I don't care enough to argue about it, to be honest. Like,
anyways,
Kevin Love he's all right.
Yeah,
he's all right.
So, anyways, that's kind of what I've been nerding out on.
Hell yeah.
Mostly just stats viewing. It's not anything like nerdy. Watching, but
I like
just stats looking.
I love
and
stats.
Seeing.
Like,
I'm ready for Wemby to play to see.
I'm ready for Wemby to play.
Yeah, whenever I saw he wasn't playing at first, I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me? He's not even going to play in the summer league. Like that's the fun time to watch him."
I would love to see him dominate.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it'll be fun with once the season starts too. But it's going to be.
Did you see that highlight of him in shoot around where he missed like
1,000 shots
in a row? Like he couldn't make a shot.
People are so freaking stupid about that shit. Like,
but like NBA players in warm-ups, they don't it's swish after swish. Like they don't.
Yeah,
he was bricking that. Like, he was.
That doesn't mean shit to me.
I can do what he does.
That doesn't mean shit.
I ain't going number 1 in the draft.
That doesn't mean shit.
I can brick all the shots you want.
That doesn't mean shit to me. That doesn't bother me.
I know he'll be fine.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he won't be, but I mean, he was hitting crazy ass shots in games against competition.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
but like
him in a gym with nobody around him shooting shots, and he misses.
It was just awful timing because it was right after he was drafted.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah,
that shit doesn't bother me. But I will say, kind of related news. Did you see that Bobo got cut?
Yeah,
from the Magic or whatever.
Yep.
Which is like basically a Wemby 1.0. He's like the Wemby before Wemby.
Poor man's Wemby.
I don't know, maybe, but anyways, that's beside the point of what let's just move on from sports. Just a little bit. We went a little over. We went a little overhead on. The top on that.
Wait till football season though.
Oh God, you'll end up talking a bunch, and I'll just be over here like, yeah, sure, bro. Anyways,
no, college football.
Oh yeah,
we shit on
each other. Anyways, so we're gonna move on to some news. We don't have a ton this week.
Thank goodness.
Nothing major. I guess we still have a decent amount of topics, but it's not the crazy shit we had the first two.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk decided to make a freaking tweet viewing limit.
He's a dumb.
But I think I read that for like a normal person, it's like 600 tweets.
Yeah, if you're not,
and I haven't hit it yet.
If you're not verified, it's 600.
Well, I'm not verified. I ain't paying for that shit.
You don't pay for that?
No, do you?
Hell fucking no, dude.
I was like,
none of my money.
Dude, I was about to be like, are you fucking shitting me?
Hell no.
So anyways, yeah, it's like 600 if you're unverified, so And I haven't hit it. I don't even know that I've been close. So.
And I'm on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, so
I love Twitter.
Apparently, it's not going to affect me that much, but it just seems like stuff keeps coming out of like weird shit he's doing for it. Like the fact that you can pay and be verified, like, doesn't even make sense to me because like some of it's like you don't even have to be a real person to become verified.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Anyways, a lot of the shit, it hasn't affected me, and I don't really care. But it's just like, it seems like he's headed towards a way to just ruin it, basically.
If he ruins Twitter, I'm going to be upset. Because I love Twitter.
Yeah, that's literally what I look at the most.
That's the same.
I'll scroll Facebook, but like Facebook's more of like...
I don't care about Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook's more of like, I don't know, like just seeing pictures and like what's... Yeah. Like what people are actually doing.
I want to see family and ads. Yeah. I like to see my little stupid, creepy ads.
Yeah, and then Twitter is like... where it's at for like sports mostly.
Yeah.
That's where I get like all my sports information. So that'll be shitty if it gets ruined. And then we had 4th of July, so obviously some people decided to get a little too crazy and
people are wild.
Get hurt and all that stuff. So I read one article where it was like talking about, I guess one just exploded on the ground or something and it killed one person and like sent like 9 people to the hospital. And like some of them were serious injuries and stuff. Like, that's why I don't fuck with fireworks.
I don't want to buy them. I ain't lighting them.
I'll let my kids watch fireworks from a distance.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
Fair.
But my kids still haven't watched fireworks, so.
I mean, I
which my son's only 2, so I think he's only had 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's only had 2 4th of Julys. I could be wrong. No, that seems wrong. Because he's... I feel like he's had 3 4th of Julys, but he's only... Is that right? Could that be right?
He's only 2?
He was born in 2020, though. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
The math ain't math
there, bro. Anyways, he's only been around for 2, and he's only like now, like this year we could have, and he probably would have thought it was cool.
Sure,
but we don't really fuck with fireworks.
No,
so.
I think they're the dumbest.
And I'm definitely not fucking with fireworks. I ain't trying to lose.
No, we need these.
A finger, some stupid, crazy shit happening.
Get it. People that fuck with them.
I definitely don't want to die either. That's fucking the worst
for like a
outcome.
I just don't get it. And people drop all kinds of money on them.
People
at work are bragging about it. I'm like,
that's the mind-numbing part to me. Is like people will spend like thousands.
I know.
I'm not even talking about hundreds. Yep. People will spend thousands on something
that lasts like no time.
Yeah, that's even the worst part. Is that a lot of times it doesn't even last very long.
Nope.
So then it's like you spent $1,000 on 9 minutes.
And you think about it in time, like you worked all these hours for like 10 minutes of enjoyment. Like no. Yeah, for real. Yeah, but I don't get it, bro.
I don't either. And then, do you want to talk about this one?
I don't know who these people are.
It doesn't really seem important, but I will say that the first hiking weekend at this national park, we'll just go ahead and mention it real quick. This first hiking weekend of the year at this national park, this dude was hiking with his family, and I guess he fell and ended up dying because they couldn't get to him for like 45 minutes. By the time they got to him, he was dead. And like, just, man, to die hiking, that sounds like the worst kind of way to go. I hate hiking. Because I hate hiking.
Dude, do you hate hiking?
And then to that to be the way you go out.
I hate when people say, I love hiking. Why? You're walking outside. No. I don't want to do any of that.
So here's the thing about hiking. The hiking is horrible. Now, if you go like hiking and get to a spot where there's like an awesome view, then it's cool. But it's the view that's cool, not the hiking.
I hate
the hiking is horrible.
I love hiking.
Don't get me wrong. It's good to be in nature, and like that is good for your honestly, it's probably good for your body, like just to be in nature and get the sun and all that stuff. But hiking's not the way I want to get it.
No, I don't understand it. But shout out to them.
But yeah,
hope they're having a great time. Well, not these people, because...
But I'm just thinking about, like, all the times I see people, like, with their kids and they're hiking. Like, their kids, like, strapped to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what if that dude has had... That's my nightmare right
you're
there.
You're down, too. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Stay
a nightmare.
indoors. Don't go outside.
And then the big thing that happened in Nate's life
I'm
with
so
the news,
bummed, bro.
when the news came in that he's going to have to pay all them student loans back.
Boy.
No forgiveness for the man. No forgiveness. Supreme Court.
They're on a roll right now.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be forgiven.
I knew
in multiple ways, according to their eyes.
Dude, for real? The Supreme Court is a it's so irritating, man. It's like they're on a mission to take my life. They said, you know this Nate guy? Fuck him. Anything that he wants, we're just gonna get that taken care of. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was real bummed about student. I knew I knew it was gonna not get passed through or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big shock, but like, there was a little part of me that hoped.
Yeah, I'm like on the fence on this because I get.
Yeah.
I get people that say like, you know, I had to pay for my college or I had to pay my loans back, and like now all these people are getting their loans.
I don't get that argument.
Forgiven and all that stuff, and like that would suck to be the person that had to actually pay, and like, you know what I mean, like that does suck for them.
Sure.
But at the same time,
on a selfish level, sure.
But at the same time, if we're gonna give like forgiveness to all these other things,
like banks and businesses, fucking billionaires,
I think the least you could do is forgive, like, you know,
$10K, bro.
Yeah,
I just want $10K.
Joe blows $10,000 loan. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, in grand scheme of thing, I know it's probably like a lot of money because you're forgiving a lot of people's debts.
A lot of people.
But it's probably not any more than they've spent on
fucking
just a handful of business. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well,
like propping them up. So I don't know. And you're more likely to get people. It's gonna attract people to go to school and to. You know what I mean? It's gonna pump the economy. I feel like it's gonna pump the economy just as much.
Yep, because you're putting money in those people's pockets that they were having to spend on student loans.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I can see being irritated that, like.
Yeah. I'm irritated on a very selfish level.
And I can get the people that are irritated, like were irritated that it was gonna happen on a selfish level, like them being like, well, fuck those people. Like, I had to work my ass off.
No, you know what? Fuck those people. Just because you suffer doesn't mean everybody else should suffer. How are we going to progress as a society and as a human race?
I get what you're saying, but at the same rate, you know what I mean? Like, you were too, you were being selfish in the sense, like,
I want my fucking money.
Yeah.
Pay my loan.
So I get why. Come on,
Joey B.
Because that's kind of the way, like, when COVID, like, people were getting, like, paid, like, a ridiculous amount to be unemployment and stuff, like, and I was having to work the whole time.
Yeah, that was pretty shitty.
And, like, I'm like, they're making more money than I am to be at home, you know what I mean?
I made a good amount of...
So that was irritating, but at the same time, I had a job.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't, like, there wasn't a potential that I was losing my job because I had it. Like, I was still working at it. So there was the benefit of that. But at the same time, it was I wasn't mad about it, but was kind of irritating that was happening, and I was still at work.
If I had to work while people were at home playing, like, I would play video games.
Working my ass off and stuff.
I would have been fucking selfish.
Well, not really working my ass off, but, like, also, like, having people come in all the time, you know what I mean?
You were
with the potential to
COVID air.
Yeah, so with the potential of getting it, like, you know what I mean? So that was kind of
I would be
irritating in that sense. So, but that's kind of the little bit of news that we had this week.
Hell yeah!
Not a whole lot of big stuff, but just wanted to make sure we got to dig in on the fact that Nate's still gonna have to spend all that money on his student loans.
I gotta start paying it in August. It's coming up.
Because your boy didn't let him get there. First
of all, it wasn't your boy, it was the Supreme Court.
What? No, I'm saying me. Personally, I didn't let myself get into debt.
Oh, shout out you.
For some degree.
I did. My degree was really helpful.
That I knew I wasn't going to use.
I wish someone would have told me. I thought I had to go to college. No.
I went. I got an associate's, but that's one that I quit at that moment because I was like, I don't know what I want to do with it.
I got 2 associates and a bachelor's because I took so many college credits that it all eventually equaled out.
I backed out.
I should have.
I backed out when I knew that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm like, nope.
I'm down.
Not going into debt for that.
I did.
Not going into debt for indecision.
Bro, I don't want to talk about it. It makes me sad.
All right, but let's move on to our top 5. This week we have a top 5 for our favorite book series. So, for me, I wanted to get stuff that was not just like... I feel like it needed to be 3 to make the cut for me. So, I didn't give any stipulations when we came up with this, but...
Oh, yeah.
For myself, I picked books that were like at least 3.
I think all mine are at least 3.
I didn't do anything that was like 2. And then I have one that's kind of a little bit weird, but I counted it because I'm like,
and it's a lot. I allowed it for a very specific reason.
It's a lot, and so I count it in my eyes.
I just wanted your number 5 to get off the list.
Yeah, fuck you. It still stayed because it's in the honorable mentions.
I know.
But I'll go first this week because I feel like I usually make you go first. So we're going to go with my 2 honorable mentions. I'll have the Divergent series by Veronica Roth.
Trash.
I cannot believe you think it's trash.
I fucking hate this series.
So did you read them all and all that?
Unfortunately, I did.
Huh.
The first book is fine.
I thought maybe you just watched the movies and you were like, fuck that.
I unfortunately did that too, and they were fucking awful.
Yeah, I didn't care for the movies that much. I mean, they were okay. I'm not going to trash them because I watched them all and I didn't wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe I got to sit here for the next however much long. But I just, that's mind blowing to me because I feel like they're pretty decent. I feel like.
No.
What is it that you don't like about it?
Oh my God!
Because you like immediately when I put that on there.
When you put it on there, because I fucking hate this series because like I read the Hunger Games, and then immediately after the Divergent books came out, and they were like, "Oh, this is the next Hunger Games. It's gonna be great."
So was the hype too much?
It was so hyped. I liked the first book's fine. Like the story's cool. The world's all right. The premise of it, I don't...
So the ending, I will say the ending wasn't like the most fantastic...
No, it was stupid.
...way to end it for me. But, I don't know.
Of the series?
Yeah.
I don't even remember because I hated it. I don't remember how it... And also the love story...
I'm not going to go...
Get it out of here. I hate the love story behind it. It was so dumb. And like, I love me a girl, female protagonist. I'm here for it. I don't like this.
I almost put something else on here instead of it, but then I was like, man, I ain't going to be clowned.
What was it?
I ain't going to be clowned for putting that on that.
No, tell me. Tell me, do it.
We'll talk about it. Maybe.
Anyway,
I'll go ahead and give my other one, and then I'll think about it, whether I'm going to say it or not. Okay. So my other one is only in the honorable mentions because it would be... I can guarantee you that eventually it will be in my top 5.
Yeah.
And probably near the top. But the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon, I think is how she pronounces it. I'm not 100% on that. But anyways, I've only read the first one, but it's so freaking good, bro.
The premise sounds very good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I know that eventually once I actually read more of them, like it'll move up.
And it's on my list.
But I couldn't put a series that I've only read one book in my top 5. But I wanted to give it a shout out at least because I know eventually it will be in my top 5 once I actually push myself into it.
I'm excited for you to read because I want to. If you like those...
And there's one on my top 5 that'll leave the top 5 if something doesn't happen. I'm just saying. When we get there, I'm going to be irate about it when I talk about it.
I think I know.
So anyways.
Yeah, well, okay, cool.
The other series that I thought about putting in there that I low-key like...
Is it Twilight?
It's Twilight.
I knew it.
It's Twilight.
I knew it. You would.
I like it.
Bro.
I like it.
I'm done.
I like it in like a...
Thanks for listening, everybody. We're done now. I can't talk to you anymore.
I like it in like it's a trash. Like it's kind of trash. But I like it.
No, I'm sorry.
You know another book series that I like that's trash, like like not really that great, but like
50 Shades?
I like it. It's 50 Shades,
I
bro.
knew it. Oh my god,
I do like it.
Why? That book
Dude,
is...
but here's the
Shut
thing.
up.
But some of like
Shut up.
sometimes I like reading books that are just like it's basically just trash. Like it's not
Those are the
it's
books.
not even necessarily that good, but like yet I find myself enjoying them.
No, I can't read. I can't power
like
through those.
there's no like great novel behind it. You know what I mean? Like it's never gonna be like on anybody's list of like great American novels. But,
Absolutely not.
But yet,
The
like,
writing's so bad.
oh my god, bro! I don't know. There's just something about.
You are trash.
Okay, first of all, I cannot talk shit about somebody's writing when there's no
I'm
fucking
sorry.
way I
the
can
50
write a
Shades
book.
lady cannot write.
But I'm not better than I can write
Okay.
by like 1,000.
Not better than me. I could write a better book than that.
You're full of shit.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, okay.
Her writing is so bad.
Okay. All right, Nate, who hasn't ever fucking written a book.
Not yet.
If you thought
Not yet.
you were so goddamn good at it, why haven't you made millions
I'm waiting.
selling a fucking book?
I'm waiting for my inspiration.
Oh, yeah, fuck you.
It hasn't quite hit me yet.
Yeah. You hear
Low
that?
key, though, I do
Hey,
want
did you hear that, Clint? You're not an inspiration.
You want me to write some fucking 50 Shades book about my husband? I'm good. I ain't doing that. Who's going to want to read that?
Yeah, but he could inspire you in different ways. It doesn't have to be a love story or...
I would not
Shades
write
style.
I am not going to write a love story.
All right, fuck it. Anyways, go to honorable mentions.
All right. So my number one, it's Animorphs. It's a children's book series. Have you heard of Animorphs? Was it popular when you were a kid?
I've heard of Animaniacs.
No, not quite. This one, bro, Animorphs is fucking wild. It's a children's series, but like, it's so dark and fucking crazy.
It's kind of
like people. There's
is it kind of dark, like in the sense of that like series of unfortunate events books that everybody read as kids?
I never read
that were like kind of low key dark. Like
I think, well, yeah, it is very much that. These like Animorphs, these kids get this power you can change to an animal, but there are rules and stipulations and shit. Like a time limit, whatever. But like, if you don't get out in under 2 hours, you'll be that animal forever. You'll lose your human form. There's fucking genocide. There's murders. People, they trap other humans in these animal bodies and like leave them there.
what the fuck?
Torture.
What? And these are children's
They're
books?
children's books, bro. Like it's crazy what they do. And
Wow.
there's like 30. Like there's a shit ton of these too. But like, it's a great. I wouldn't recommend it for kids, but like. Like a young adult, maybe I could see you reading that. But anyway, it got me, like, when I was in high school, I quit reading because it wasn't very cool to read. My buddy let me borrow these, and I was like, oh yeah, reading's great. I'm back in it.
Yeah.
I blew through these books. They're so good. They're
Nice.
probably not good now, but, like, they were good then.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably exactly the same way I feel about like Twilight.
No, first of all, those were never
If I reread
Those
them,
were
I'd
never
probably
good.
be like, "Wow, this is really trashy." But
Yeah. I low-key want to read Animorphs again, but I'm not going to.
yeah, it's like one of those things when you go back, like kind of like the first Harry Potter movie when you go
Dude,
back. Like
I
I remember
can't-
when it first came out, and I
can't
was like,
watch
"That
it.
was great," and then you go back and watch it, and you're like, "Oh, it's freaking trash."
I don't watch the second one either.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
kinda out
the
on
thirds when it starts to actually
better.
get a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
better. But anyways,
Anyway.
go ahead with your other
My
one.
next one is called Ender's Game. I don't even remember much about this series, but I know I really liked it.
So Ender's Game, that's they made a movie, didn't they?
Yes.
And it's got
Did I watch it? I don't remember.
Oh my god, what is that guy's name? Why am I sucking at people's names right now?
I don't know. My brain's working.
Oh my god, what is the name of it?
Yeah, it is a movie, because I
Yeah,
low-key remember it.
the dude that's in I think he's in Star Wars. I think he's Han Solo. What is that dude's name? Harrison Ford? Is he Han Solo?
I don't like Star Wars. Yes?
Okay, anyways.
I don't know.
It's Harrison Ford is the person that's in it though. I do know that. But anyways, yeah. So they made a movie.
Oh, yeah, I did watch this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they play video games, right? And
It's like
it
a
controls
simulation.
like a actual real thing.
Yeah. They're trying to, like, build up these kids to lead the army.
Yeah.
It's a simulation, and then there's a twist on that book. And then there are more. I don't even remember the other books, but, like...
I got you.
It's great. It's a good read. It's fucking dark and, like, twisted.
I've heard of it, obviously.
Yeah. That's all I got to say on it.
Knew of the books.
Yeah.
Or I knew of the movies. So, go ahead with your number 5, homie.
All right, my number 5, another book I don't really remember, but I know I love it. The Maze Runner series.
I can't remember if I read I know I read at least the first one. I might have read more than that. I can't remember. I might have read them all.
I know I've read them all.
But I know I've watched some of the movies. I don't know if I've watched all
I
of the
have
movies.
a problem with the movies.
Yeah.
I love the first... Yeah, anyway, I don't want to talk about the movies.
But
The books are great, though. Like, they're pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty positive. I know for sure I read the first one. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got like an interesting kind of like plot-ish
the plot,
to
the
it or
setting is
whatever.
really cool. Like, even the characters I vibe with because, like, I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the main character has that telepathy with the girl character.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. And that's why I don't like the movies because they fucked that up. And that was really irritating to me. So yeah, that's my number 5.
So, alrighty, my number 5. I am. This is the one that I'm gonna count it, but it's not really necessarily actually a book. So, I mean, it's a book, but it's a comic book. It is The Walking Dead by Robert Kirkman. So I count this because, first of all, I read them through like the compendiums or whatever. So like the big set.
Oh yeah.
That has like a bunch of the novels or the individual comics or whatever. And there's like 5, I think, compendiums, and these are fat. Like the compendiums are fat.
They're fat.
So I mean, it's a decent amount of reading to it. I mean, I know it's comic book, so it's not like a ton of words.
Yeah.
But really good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they made a freaking TV show on it that is like super mega popular.
Yeah.
But
I've heard the comics are very good.
But yes, they're very good. They're like really good, and I actually gave my brother the first couple. I guess he quit reading them, but my brother doesn't read like at all, so, and he was reading some of them, so
that means they're good.
Yeah, I feel like that. Feel like that's got to mean they're pretty good.
I've looked at them before,
and then we actually shared the same number 4 again this week.
Number 4's our fucking thing, bro.
But so this one for me and for Nate too is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins.
It's so good.
It is really good. Again, this is kind of in the same realm of how I feel about it as I do like the Divergent series. Yeah. Is that it doesn't necessarily, in my eyes, end like. There's like I guess it ends pretty decent, but like there's a point towards the end where it's like kind of a little bit of like what are we doing?
Yeah, I agree.
But overall, really good.
Yeah. The first book, fucking love the first book.
And like just the concept itself is just,
Yep.
It's just really interesting.
Because low-key, I could see that like
being a thing, like
in real life.
Yeah, people are crazy, man.
People are crazy, and people would watch. I would watch that if it happened in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of like the freaking those prison movies where they raced cars and stuff. Like you tell me you would
Death Race.
I
love those movies. Hell
yeah,
I'd watch.
Yeah, you tell me you wouldn't watch that?
No, for sure. I would for sure watch a bunch of kids try to kill each other to survive. I would watch that. That'd be great.
Yeah. So I don't know if I would watch it because it's a bunch of kids that did nothing to deserve the death.
I mean, yeah,
but
probably not. But
I can see like how that could become a thing, and it's just, I don't know, just really cool concept to me.
And like, there are some adult themes. It's a young adult book, but like, the movies don't go into like the starving and like the political stuff as much as the books do. Yeah, I think the books are great. Like, I would read them now and I would enjoy the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And low key, when these books came out, like when I read them in college, I wanted to be in the Hunger Games. Like, if they would have came out then, I would have joined. I would have volunteered.
Oh yeah, he would have volunteered.
And I would have
died immediately.
Died fucking immediately.
Maybe not immediately.
No.
Our buddy Nick at work would die.
He'd go straight to the cornucopia
and die.
He would die. Sorry.
He'd probably step off the platform before it actually.
He would. His adrenaline would be so. He's dumb.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, he definitely would have died.
Dude, yeah, Hunger Games number 4. I wanted it to be higher, but like, Excuse you.
Shut up, Siri.
That was a lot. I wanted it to be higher, but like I couldn't do it. But for a young adult series,
yeah,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought about putting mine higher too, but it's just one of those things where it's like it's so popular.
It's so popular,
and it's not like it doesn't blow me away in the way that like to be as popular as it is. So it almost hurt it in my eyes.
Yeah.
Whereas the book that I put above it, because I would have only moved it up one, and the book I put above it is like, it's one of those books like I don't really feel like people know about. So,
well,
it has.
They're starting to now, though.
Yeah, so it has some little bit of like, it gains a little bit in my eyes because it's like. But anyways, you can go with your number 3 because we had the same 4.
We do. So my number 3, it's a series that I read over this past year, and I like nerded out about hardcore.
Yeah.
And the show, we've already kind of talked about it because you're watching the TV show.
Yep.
But it's the Expanse series.
Yes. I can definitely see how this makes a top 3.
Dude, yeah.
And like literally my top 5 is probably going to change so much once I actually read more of the Outlander series and once I actually start the Expanse and maybe even with this Foundation books.
Foundation's on my list.
So there's like a chance that my list could be drastically different.
I think my top 3 is pretty locked in.
Yeah.
My 3 is the one that would change, but like it's a great sci-fi.
Yeah.
The character, I love the characters. Like
they
form like this. They're like
the characters in the TV show, dude, like so far.
Yeah.
Like just there's some bomb.
The character writing is so.
And there's gonna be and I can tell like that the book probably has goes way more into them because every book does, but like there's just some depth to some of the characters in the show. Yep. So like,
and then like the book, there's 9 of these books, plus there's like I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe more, like novels that go with them, like short stories.
The novellas or whatever, those little thin things or whatever.
I didn't read all of those, but like as each book goes on, they add more characters, and it's like it's never. There's only a couple of times I'm like, okay, I don't care about this person. Yeah. I usually ended up caring deeply about most, like all of them. Yeah. And then the way they wrap it up, 10 out of 10. Like, in the epilogue, I got goosebumps. Like I fist pumped. I was hyped. It's great.
They're actually like, which it's the same as Outlander. They're actually Outlander's like a real thickie, but those books are big. They're actually pretty thick.
They're big.
For it to be like, to have 9 of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of the same way as Outlander, though. Like, Outlander has like a ton of them, and they're thick, bro. They're like 900 pages or 1,000 pages, like a lot of them, so.
And like, every one of these books, it starts off good, the middle's kind of slower paced, it sets everything up. The last, like, third, balls to the wall. Yeah. Like, I would get home from work, I'd have like 200 pages left, 150. I fucking blow through it. Yeah. Because I couldn't put it down because it's so fucking crazy.
I feel like that's a lot of books. There's a lot of like like the arc of a novel and arcs of TV shows and stuff too. There's always like that, the rise, the plateau where it like kind of gets stale because it's still at the same level, and then all of a sudden, boom! It ramps at the very end.
These take off, and they do some crazy shit.
So. Yeah, I can definitely tell that eventually, just based on the TV show. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one that's going to jump into my list. But obviously, I definitely couldn't put that one even in my honorable mentions because I haven't even read it, a page of it yet. So, but I do know eventually that will be.
You should read them.
That eventually will be in my top 5, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
So then my number 3 is the Silo series by Hugh Howey. So people probably are knowing more about this now because they have an Apple TV show.
And apparently it's very good.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is because the books are really good. So kind of the premise for the book is that they're inside these underground silos. So basically, like, imagine a silo that you see outside, but it's levels underground instead of going up. And it's kind of like they don't really A lot of them don't even know why they're in there. Like, they've been in there for so long.
Oh, really?
That nobody, like, really knows why they are and stuff like that.
Huh.
And it's just really good. The first one's called Dust, I think. Don't quote me on that.
I looked at it. I tried to borrow it from my library, and I didn't.
But it's there's 3 of them. They're good. It's hard to explain, so it's one of those things where, like, I'm not gonna really try to explain it too much because, like, it's really hard to explain. And I was wrong on the order. I literally gave you the last one as the first one.
Oh, cool.
So Wool is the first one.
That's number 1. I looked at that.
Shift is the second one, and Dust is the third one.
Okay.
But they're just good, bro. They really are. Like, and it kind of ends. I don't know. It ends in a way that, like, I was happy with.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's post-apocalyptic would be what I would say it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's basically the world went to shit and these people are buried underground. But they don't at this point they don't know why they are.
I like
really.
I want to read these.
So
they're very high on my list right now.
So I definitely and I put it number 3. If I literally honestly went back and probably reread, like, a bunch of these, like, maybe it wouldn't be that high. But in my eyes, like, people don't know about this, and that carries weight.
You want to be cool and have a
that's not why
undiscovered gem on your list.
No, that's not why.
Poser. That's cool.
No, the reason why I say that is because, like, it's not overhyped now. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the Hunger Games, like, it got really, really, really big. So,
as it should.
It lost some of its luster because, like, was it as good as the blow up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas this book was really, really good and, like, wasn't getting the blow up. Because the first one came out in 2011.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you're talking 12 years ago that this first came out. And, like, it just now basically became a TV show. In fact, me and my sister were kind of nerding out about the fact that it was becoming a TV show.
Well, isn't that,
embarrassing that thing that happened with the situation, though, is that I texted her about it and was like, hey, did you see it's becoming a TV show? And she's like, I don't know what that is. And she was the one that told me about them, and that's the reason why I read them. And then she went and looked at, like, the synopsis of it, and she was like, oh, that show, I want to watch that. And I'm like, yeah. So then we nerded out about the fact that it was becoming a show. So that's kind of a little bit about it. Not a lot about it, but
that's enough.
I just don't want to.
Yeah, I don't like spoiling.
I'm really careful about what I say.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything.
When it comes to books, because I'm not a big, like, spoiling shit for people.
You sold me. I'm hyped for them. I don't know when I'll start them, but I will. I would like to read them at some point.
Yeah. So then, number 2 for me. Holy shit! Dude, you're number 2 as well.
We're all the same here on out.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the order that it came in, like, we actually landed on the same number. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of interesting to me. But number 2 for me is a song of Ice and Fire. I always want to say Fire and Ice for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a song of Ice and Fire, but Game of Thrones for all those out there.
I love these books.
It's by George R. R. Martin, and this is the one that I was talking about earlier.
It's not quite done yet.
So this motherfucker ain't finished it.
He ain't gonna finish it either.
And Nate is so convinced he's not going to finish it. And, like, I probably should not get my hopes up and just accept the fact that he's probably not going to finish it.
Bro.
It's number 2 on my list because it's so good. If it doesn't get finished, it's going number 2 on my top 5 worst book series.
Wait, why?
That much of a turn. Because
why?
I cannot stand the fact that it's just not going to have an ending. Like, the end of the book, don't give me that bullshit, like, you can write your own ending. No, fuck that.
I fucking hate those people.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't want to write my own ending.
Hate the show's ending, bro.
They for sure, fuck that. I don't hate the show ending.
I do.
But it needs to be flushed out more.
No, there's nothing you can do to make that work.
They rushed it at the end. If they had, like, built into it, I think it could have been something. All right, whatever. Anyways, we can disagree on that.
I could talk about this for fucking hours.
My thing is, I will hate it. It will go from something that I love to something that I hate if it doesn't get an ending.
So you're just gonna trash all the things you've read from that series?
I'm not gonna trash them.
The garbage?
No, I'm not gonna trash them. But like, it just, I will not. It's number 2 on my list. That's pretty high, and that's like gonna be like something that you recommend to people. I would never recommend for somebody to start this.
I would
until it's finished.
No, I'd recommend it right now.
No, I can't
because the books are still good.
They are good, but they don't have an ending. It's not like he ends his books at the end of each book, like with like a good like.
But like.
There's still clearly a lot that needs to happen, and like he left it there, and like just if there's one thing that can happen, if there's one thing that can happen, it's just please, for the love of all things good, let them be released, please, because I can't handle it because I love them so much. Literally, they would be my number 1, and you know how much I like my number 1. They would not be your
number 1.
They would be my number 1 if they finish. If he finishes them and it actually like stays on the level that it is, it would be my number 1.
What? Okay.
I'm kidding you not. Like it
would not.
Let's be honest.
It would not be mine.
I don't want to just. I think everybody knows what my number 1's gonna be, but
I don't know. It would say number 2. It's number 2 regardless if it comes out or not. Which
number
is not.
1 is like nostalgia.
There's still
is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
like so, it's not.
Right.
It's not the only thing, because it has some power to it as well, and it's good. But the nostalgia factor is the reason why it's number 1 and like has the potential to always be number 1, is because of like what it meant to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but just pure storytelling and series, A Song of Ice and Fire,
dope,
is so good.
Dude, the characters are
so good. God, I love the way that it's like, even like the way it's like set up, where it's like a chapter is like who it is.
That's my favorite style of like fiction.
I love that. Just like, and it's just so well done. And like you said with was it The Expanse you said, where they add characters all the time? Like they add characters like all the time, and that's like how their storyline like. And then, like, their storylines are interwoven, so you get people in different chapters. Like,
and when they meet up, it's fucking cool. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, like...
Yeah.
It's just so good to me. And, like, I get it. They're big. The world itself is so big. Like, I get that it's wild. I get that it's so freaking hard and, like, difficult for him probably to write the books.
Sure, but, like...
But at the same time, like...
That's your job, bro.
Yeah, it just irritates me. And, like, I don't want to be those people that are like, you can't do anything else. But, like, he does too much other shit. He does so much other shit. And, like, I get, like, it's his life, whatever. But for me, like, if that was me, I could never just, like, basically... He basically, at this point, if he doesn't release them, he knows in his head he's not going to.
That's why I'm not getting them.
Like, I'm saying, like, if he... I don't think he thinks that in his head. I think he thinks he's still going to get them out.
I don't.
But I'm saying, like, if it... At this point, if he really isn't going to get them out, he knows in his head he's not.
Yeah.
And it's like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't just... Like, I get in my head I would know what the ending is, but, like, I couldn't do that to everybody that, like, made me who I am.
Honestly, fuck this. No. He doesn't owe anything to us. He owes us nothing.
Yes, he does. Bullshit.
He does.
Bullshit. He would be a fucking nobody if it wasn't for the fans.
That's fine.
You have to give...
He don't owe us shit, bro.
He's made millions.
Good for him. He did it right.
No.
Yep.
You owe people for that.
He doesn't owe anybody for that.
Yes, you do.
He gave people a great book series.
No, he gave people a halfway finished book series.
No, it's great how it is.
Fuck, you're so full of shit. You just want to see me get irritated.
I love watching you get irritated about this.
But
honestly,
he does. I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you would think he doesn't owe the people that got him where he fucking is.
So you think he owes me something?
He
don't
owes
owe me shit.
He owes the collective group of people
Why?
that have. What do you mean? Why?
Why?
He would be nothing.
He's living his fucking life, doing what he wants. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I would like him to release that book. Those two
he
books.
owes.
But, like, we're not getting them.
You're just wrong. He owes it to his fans.
If you want to be selfish, go for it.
Are you talking about him? I thought you were talking about me. I'm not being selfish. Like, I'm being, like me as a like, if I was the person that wrote these books, I would feel like I would owe the people that fucking read them and made me popular, made me fucking famous.
I wouldn't. I did my job. I did it well. Good for me.
No, you didn't. You did not finish a job. Job finished? No. Job's not finished. Fucking Kobe Bryant. Is the job finished?
Yeah, I wouldn't compare George R. R.
Martin
to Kobe Bryant.
Not finished.
Listen, bro.
He just ain't got that killer instinct, I don't think. George R. R. Martin doesn't have that killer instinct.
It's nothing he loves more than killing off fucking characters.
Yeah, he likes to kill, but he ain't got that killer instinct. But, whatever.
Yeah, I'm on number one.
You just pissed me off about that whole thing, so...
Let's go to a happier topic.
Yep. So, obviously, Harry Potter...
Yeah, boy.
Number one.
Yeah, boy.
Number one. Probably forever, just from the fact that, like, this is the thing that, like, made reading...
Yeah.
An important part of my life. Literally, I can remember, like, my sister... I couldn't even really read them myself when I first started.
Yeah.
And, like, my sister would read them to me. And I can just remember, like, her reading them to me. And then, like, even to the point where, like, I got to the point where I could read them myself. Like, she still read some of them to me. Like, I mean, towards the end, she didn't read them to me. But, like, there was a point where, like, I could read it myself. But, like, she still read them to me. And I think that's, like, a bond with my sister that you know, I can just remember, like, that's just one of those, like, core memories I can remember from being like a kid, you know. And
that's cute.
I don't know, just it's big life like lessons and stuff in those books that's like that you don't realize as a kid that you realize and as an adult that, like, just I don't know, there's something about it. There
is something about it. I came to it pretty late. I read the first 5 as a kid, like in grade school, stopped, and then I restarted it, like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago, probably 5 or 6 years ago, I don't know. But, like, even then, like, I needed those messages and those stories, and, like, that shit hit home for me when I read them. So, like, there's something about it, man.
There's something about some, like, the quotes and stuff from Dumbledore, like,
Dumbledore's a goat. Like, you know, I love that.
Just the even in the darkest of times, you know, like, just all those, like, you know, you just have to remember to turn on the light, like, you know what I mean? Just remember the happy shit, like, I don't know, there's a lot of Dumbledore quotes that, like, when you're reading them as a kid, you're
like fucking nerd.
That just seem like stupid, like,
but
like, there's Dumbledore and his quirkiness.
So he's a weirdo, but he's a weirdo.
I mean, he is, but, like, some of that just hits, man. It hits home.
Dude, Luna was, like, the one for me. I love Luna.
Yes.
So, like, being, like, different, feeling like you don't vibe with anybody, or, like, but you're still just doing your own thing, like, and you're still a badass fucking witch. Like, I vibed with her so hard when I read it.
Yep.
Like, she really made an impact on me. But then even, like, the world is great. The writing's kind of...
That's kind of, like, is she the most incredible, like, writer? No.
Also, fuck J.K. Rowling. I don't like her. But I just had to throw that in because she's the worst.
I can't.
We're not going to talk about it because I don't feel like getting into it. But
I'm not getting into it for sure.
But, like...
I can't. She did too much for my whole world. for me to feel any sort of
she
negative
wrote,
way towards her.
Anyway, but like the story, it gets super dark towards the end, which is like more my style.
And that's the thing, like, especially like if you start reading them, which, for example, like you waited until later, but if you start reading them at like the age to start reading them, like when you can read them, the books grow with you,
which is pretty cool. Like, I wish I would have had that experience. I think that would have been fun.
Like, if you, a lot of them I read, like, so when I read them more quickly, like towards the beginning, because they were like, there was already several out by the time like my sister read them to me. But like once you hit like the other ones, like it was kind of like I went with them. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so like, cool, dude. And it was kind of roughly. It wasn't. It didn't line up exactly like. But if you were like, if you were an 11-year-old when Harry was an 11-year-old, and you got the first book when it first came out, and you followed the path of like when they were released and stuff, it flows almost perfectly with like it gets more mature as you're getting more mature. So like obviously the dark time is your dark time probably in life, because that's a lot of people's age of being in the dark.
Dude, that dark time is fucking dark though. Golly.
And so I don't know. She clearly is not the group. I'm not gonna like try to pump up and act like she's like this incredible writer, but
she's not.
But she's no George R.R. Martin, like, you know what I'm saying? No. Like somebody that can really like story develop and all that stuff. Like, no, she's not. But like,
but what she struggled, like I don't know how this started, but she really did well with this. Like this world, the story that she created, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Her other books, they're bad. I've tried to read them. They're not.
Have you read her books by like her pen name or pseudonym or whatever? Mm-mm. Pseudonym. Is that right? Sure. It sounded wrong.
Sounds good to me.
It sounds wrong, but I could be right. It's like a detective. They're actually not that bad.
I've read it. I'm not buying any of her stuff though. She can fuck off.
Oh shoot. That says a lot that she's your number one.
Because, listen, I can love something and also hate the person that did it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know enough, so I'm not going to, like, put my 2 cents in, because I don't really know it. I don't. It's going to sound kind of bad, but I don't really care enough to, like, you know what I mean? Research into it. Like, I don't.
My only thing, if you want to have a negative opinion about a group of people, cool, do your thing. Keep that shit to yourself. Don't be blasting people on Twitter for no fucking reason.
Yeah, but I will put this out there. In her defense, like, people she said something, people, whether they took it out of context or like, you know what I'm saying? Whether she meant it that way or not, that doesn't matter. But people are constantly like quoting things towards her, like anytime she says anything, like coming at her. I can get why you would be like constantly coming back, like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Why you would constantly be like coming back at people when they're always like constantly being like,
because she doubles and triples down on her bullshit statement. Anyway, it's not important. She fuck her. I don't like her. If you like her, good for you, man.
I don't really know her. Don't really know her.
I don't want to know her.
I just know she has some of my favorite books.
Harry Potter's great.
That have ever existed. So.
What's your favorite book? Harry Potter book.
Favorite Harry Potter book? Oh my god, my wife asked me this the other day because of it wasn't the other day, it was before Christmas, but it had to do with it had
a year ago.
It had to do with a Christmas present. So she had asked what my favorite book was. And I'm like, oh, jeez, I don't.
Mine's 7.
It's so hard. See, the problem I have with saying 7 is it probably is, but like I have not reread that since I read it.
What?
The first, I mean, I haven't sat it down and like actually read it like myself. I've listened to audiobooks and stuff of it.
That's fine.
But I haven't reread it since the first night I consumed it.
You read it all one night?
And I read the whole thing in one night.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
So I don't know. I struggle to say that that's my favorite one. It probably is.
Yeah. What's your other one?
But I would say probably Prisoner of Azkaban, maybe.
That's a great one.
Maybe Goblet of Fire. It'd probably be between those two.
Goblet of Fire was my favorite for a long time.
Half-Blood Prince is fire, though, too, really.
They're all... The first two I don't care
So
about
Half-Blood Prince, the movie, is the best movie, in my opinion. I know we're talking about the books, but Half-Blood Prince is the best movie to me. Either that...
That's a hot take.
Either that or Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix?
Hot take, even more, is...
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Order of the Phoenix is the worst of the books. By far.
Is that 5?
By far the worst of the book, yes.
Yeah, I don't care for 5.
By far. It's like
boring. And Harry's a little bitch in that one.
Yes, that's the reason why I fucking hate. That's why I hate that.
One.
I hate.
God, he's the worst.
It's literally like that phase in life, that teenage phase thing, but oh my god, he irritated the shit out of me that entire fucking book.
Especially the beginning. The beginning is so awful.
Oh my god, it's so bad. He's like such a little bitch.
Such a bitch, like, bro.
Little bitch the whole fucking time. And I get, like, shit was going on. Like, he had some shit going on.
When you're that age, like, everything's the world's worst problem. Like,
but fuck him. I mean, he probably did have the world's worst problem. He was, like, having dreams.
If I was Harry, I would have died pretty early.
But yeah,
Yeah, I hate that book. I don't hate it. I don't
hate it. But
the beginning of that book makes you want to choke somebody.
It's literally the worst one. Yeah. Like, by a mile. Like, by a mile.
Worse than 2. Well, yeah.
It's the worst book by a long shot.
I'd rather read that than Chamber of Secrets. I hate Chamber of Secrets.
The book?
The book and the movie. I don't care about that story at all. With an evil diary? Cool. Cool, man. Fuck you.
It's the introduction of the Horcruxes. How could you hate that?
I mean, that part's great. The book itself is whatever. I don't care about it, bro.
Oh, no,
it's a hot take. People love that shit, and I'm not for it.
It's so much better, like, looking back to me. Like, once you find out all the information, then you look back and you're like, oh, fuck, that's the...
Oh, so I usually reread these every year.
That's when the shit happened that Dumbledore realized, like... You know,
2's the one I look forward to the least.
That's the start.
2's the one I blow through. Like, I'm fucking blowing through it so I can get done with it. Because I don't care about it.
That's a hot take for me, because number 5 is the one I would almost skip if I...
Oh, yeah.
If it didn't ruin the flow...
It would ruin the flow, too.
It would ruin the flow so bad, because that's a thick book, man. That's a thickie.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Harry Potter's great.
By far. Tune in next week when No, I'm just kidding. Next week I'm not going to have more books read. I was going to be like, tune in next week whenever I tell you my new top 5. But
yeah, let's read 5 new series. Let's see if we can...
Bro, I'm telling you, I know for sure this is going to be a hot take, kind of. But it's probably at some point. If Game of Thrones, this would be my top 5.
Oh my God.
If Game of Thrones was to finish, that'd be number 1. Then it would be Harry Potter. And then probably Outlander. And then if I ever get to The Expanse, probably it. And then the Silo series.
No, don't kick out Hunger Games.
I got to.
No.
I mean, it's not an unlimited. I've only got 5.
Hunger Games is staying in my top 5 forever.
You gotta make choices, man.
That's the first series I, like, nerded out about. Also, I'm kind of done reading series. Like, I'm kind of out of it.
Bro, no.
I like reading single.
Seriously,
books.
you've got to read the Outlander series.
I'm thinking about it.
You've got to.
No, there's too many.
It'll take you so long, but you've got to.
Yeah, I'm doing
it. At least give it a chance.
It's on
at least
my
read
list.
the first one, because it's good, man.
All right, I'll check it out, bro.
Guys, if you have any input on what some of your favorite series are, if they're different than what we put down, please leave a comment.
Unless it's Twilight or 50 Shades. Don't put that shit on there.
fuck you. First of all, I mentioned those. And then second of all, if it's something that we didn't mention that you think is really good that we should check out, please do.
Yeah, I'll read
please
it.
do send a comment, because I'm always down to hear about
Yeah.
new book series and things.
Luke, he won't ever read them, but he'll read the comment.
Oh yeah, I'll read the comment for sure.
I might actually check them out. So,
Bro, I have a ton of books on my to read list. I would add it to it. I might not get to it for 10 more years, but I would do it. And then if you have any feedback on anything we can do, like for our top fives in the future, or any feedback on things we can do better, I don't know, whatever, anything you can.
We'll take any feedback.
Any feedback, basically. If you want to leave a comment, or you can email us at unimportantviewpoint@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can also check out our TikTok on Unimportant Viewpoint on TikTok. Also, for sure, like we said last week, if you guys think anything from the episode is TikTok worthy, whether it be funny or just whatever, make a comment on Spotify or send us an email letting us know, so that Nate
Yeah, that would help me out a ton.
so that Nate can throw that on there, because it's kind of a lot to sparse through for him.
Especially this, we're going super long this episode.
Yeah,
bro.
so
The timer's stressing me out. I'm like, oh my god.
so we're gonna stop now before we get crazy out of whack. But thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you again next week for another episode of The Unimportant Viewpoint. Bye.
Bye.